In this video, we're going to do a recap video of all the trades I took out this week and called out in my signals chat. Now, unfortunately, guys, this week, the first week of December, last month we did amazing, but this week, the first week of the month is horrible. We have, if you took every single trade that I called out off one single contract from every single signal, you'd be down $80. So, unfortunately, this week ended unprofitable for us. We took 11 trades total, 4 wins, 5 losses, and 2 break-even trades. So we're going to go over all that in this video, break down what we could have done better, our entries, why we entered, what we could have done better on our entry, because after doing a quick recap before I even doing this intro, I realized that I entered way too early on a lot of these trades. So let's break down this video and let's get right into it and share a screen. So not only am I going to screenshot and post the signals, but I'm also going to go down and show you guys my orders. Now, these are all the trades I took this week as well. So we're going to go through all the trades, show the screenshot of the order when I entered, as well as even post the signals chat. So let's get right into it and let's get right into this video, deep dive video. So the first trade that I called out was on QQQ, and I took these contracts from $124 value, exited at $137. This was a nice 13% quick scalp in and out on a Monday. Now, the reason why I entered it is very simple, and let's go over this breakdown right here. It's off the intraday price action, guys. So this is all-time highs on QQQ and the whole market as a whole in general. Now, the reason why I took calls is because let's just talk about price action here. What is the price doing? It created a decent little pattern here, getting a little bit tight, and then we get a fat breakout to the upside, decent buyer volume. And so I was waiting for a retest, but I couldn't find if you just can never tell if we're going to come to retest this support or if you're never going to get a retest in general at all. So what I waited was for us to get as close as we could to the 90 EMA. Notice that on this candle here, which I don't really want to add too many arrows, but on this candle here, it's as close as it can get to the 90 EMA. Nice little hammer. Then I decided to enter at 9 a.m. At 9:01 a.m. I entered. So a minute after this candle opens, I was deciding, you know what? We're most likely what's going to happen here is this, guys. What's most likely going to happen is after we get as close as we could to this 9 EMA and follow the momentum, nice buyer candle here, I decided, you know what? This candle might break out of this most recent little bit of highs right here, and we might get a nice push. And we did get a nice push. So as soon as we entered here at 9:01 a.m., we exited 5 minutes later at 9:05 a.m. As soon as this candle opened, we were just like, yeah, let's just get out of these. Exit for a nice 30% trade. Of course, if I would have held for a little bit more, they would be up a little bit more, and they did hit at least 150, which isn't too crazy. But the reason why I exited this one, guys, is because this is all-time highs. I cannot tell how long we're going to continue on pushing for some new all-time highs. So I just decided to say, you know what, let me just exit out of here and let's get out of these for a decent gain. We don't know how much it's going to continue on running, and it did end up running. The reason why I took this one, guys, is very simple. I'm just following the price action. I'm reading the momentum. We're breaking to the all-time highs. Nice candle break above this most recent resistance. Breaks above 90 EMA. Breaks above this little small trend here. So I'm like, you know what, let me try to get a 90 EMA retest, and we don't get one, unfortunately. So I just had to follow the next most recent breakout, and we caught that nice breakout. So that's number one trade. That's the first trade which paid us nicely. Mind you, we took only 4 wins, 5 losses, and 2 break-evens, so 11 trades total, and we ended up unprofitable this week. So that's the first trade, which did pretty good. Decent breakout trade to the upside. Now, the next trade was off AMD, and it looks better on the 15 minutes, which I'll show you guys that here, and that's the whole point of why I entered. Matter of fact, let's just go to 15 minutes right now. So AMD, I did a nice call out on AMD. For $224 a piece. I said I'm going to enter another one in a bit. I'm just entering in a little bit early. Now, the reason why I even entered in general is because, we enter at 10:43 a.m. Reason why I say I entered a little bit early is because the candle hasn't even closed yet. We got 2 more minutes before this 15-minute candle closes. And the reason why I entered, guys, is very simple. So I entered at 10:43 a.m., right? Reason being is because 2 more minutes before this candle closes, I'm expecting this is a nice retest candle here at the 90 EMA. That's what I expected. I expected that every time we hit this general area, this 90 EMA, it likes to bounce. Here we are, long way to downside, breaking this little trend. Another long way to downside. Buyers are kicking in. I was like, this is the retest here. This has to continue on up to the upside. There's just no way. We did pump up here. Seeing a nice 3%, 4%. It just did not go nowhere, guys, unfortunately. So you know what we had to do? We had to sell out as soon as it came back down, come back down towards our break-even area, and I just sold out for break-even. I said, guys, contracts are even after a 30-cent move, whack as push. Let's just get out of these low movers, $230 a piece, and you guys can see these are my contracts here. I exited here, literally same price fill, even though I held it for over 10 minutes. Matter of fact, it was a 12-minute hold. So that was the last trade on Monday, guys. And that day we were up at least in profits, but still it wasn't enough. Even if we took one single trade, it was not enough. One single contract, it was not enough. Now let's move on to Tuesday, which is SPY, which is the December 3rd. So this is the third trade of the week that I took, and it's on a Tuesday. Now, unfortunately, guys, this trade did not go my way at all. We got hit to break even, got in these contracts at $89 call out, sold it at $60 value. So it was a quick loss of like $24-ish or something like that. You got to do the math. I can't really do the math here. But that was a lost trade on our end. Now, the reason why I entered is very simple. I decided, you know what, we have a nice, every time we hit this general area, you guys can see over here too, every time we hit this nice general area, we tend to bounce, which is something that I'm realizing that maybe I should start taking bounce trades because look at this. What do you guys think? Did I enter in too early? What I really expected us was to continue on downwards. Look at all this big seller volume. Buyers do step in, don't get me wrong, big buyers, and then boom, fat seller. Then again, another climb back up. Now, I entered because this candle closed below this level as well. I mean, even this one did too, but this one's pretty strong. Decent amount of sellers. It looked so amazing, but it is what it is, guys. Just one of those trades where I had to cut it. I'm not too sure if I should have waited for a stronger confirmation or if I should have maybe looked on a 30-minute time frame to make sure we're actually going to break down below. But even on a 30-minute time frame, I was like, wow, it looks amazing. Even the hourly, guys, looks amazing because even on the higher time frames, I really expect us to continue on downwards. So unfortunately, this trade that I took here was a major loss. And again, guys, just to break it down real quick, why I even entered is because this candle is, yeah, maybe I would have entered there, but after seeing this one, I expect us to really continue on downwards. And we didn't get it. So I just entered there. I'm not going to say I hope for it to continue on down. I expected it to continue on down, but this one ended up coming up and hitting our stop loss. So that trade was an L. And as you guys can see, I did take another trade. This one I didn't do a call out on, so I can't really break this one down, but it was a very nice entry, guys. You guys can see, nice retest on the 9 EMA, long way to downside. Buyers are super stepping in, so I decided to take calls here, and this one printed 75% off a cheap contract. So I did call that one out, unfortunately, but because that one was already a loss here, and I took another trade, which ended up probably, I think, being a loss too as well. Let me see. So that one was a loss, guys, but this one was the trade that put us well over $100 on a single contract, man. This one was such a great trade. So this SPX call out that I did paid so nicely, guys. This one was over a 30% trade here. And the reason why I took it and why I loved it so much is because, guys, look at this. Every time we hit this general area, honestly, let me delete the 90 EMA real quick just to get it a little bit less cluttered. 15 minutes looks a lot better too. Let me go on the 15 minutes, guys. So I live traded this, guys. And most of these trades I'm talking about, I think every single trade that I'm talking about, I live traded this week and posted in my vlog. But you guys can see, every time with this general area, it tends to reject. But this time, buyers were stepping in. Market was super strong. I think even SPY was breaking all-time highs at this point. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to trade some SPX calls. So I decided to enter in some SPX calls. $240 a piece, guys. We exited at $310, man. So we took these contracts over $70 on a single trade. And this one was such a good day, man. Now, these contracts went even more valuable since then when I exited. These went pumping well over like $330, $340, $360-ish dollars, man. These went crazy. So XPX, every time we hit the general area, we tend to reject. But this time we're looking super strong, super bullish. And I was like, you know what? We're definitely going to break. Market's around all-time highs. This looks so strong. We got the break, guys. This one I kind of entered in a little bit too early because even on the lower time frame, there's really no retest at all. See, even on the lower time frame, there's really no general retest. 5 minutes, in which I did live record the 5 minutes. But on the 5 minutes, guys, after you get this breakout, it's either you enter here on this closest retest and get paid, or you just miss out on it. So we chased it a little bit, but we caught paid, guys. Nice 33% there on that trade. Very nice trade. So that closed out for Tuesday. Now we're on to Wednesday. And that day did end up profitable too for us as well. But Wednesday is where I took a bad hit, guys. So guys, this first trade was amazing. Now I took a re-entry on QQQ, but I got faked out. So there's many times where I just enter in way too early, unfortunately, which is what I'm learning. So even on that SPY trade that I did for a put on Tuesday was a horrible entry. Now I did take QQQ calls off a nice break here. Maybe the re-entry should have been here. To be very honest, it's a very good entry. But guys, we took a calls here. You guys can see I called out for 112 entry, exited at $134 exit. So I got in some QQQ calls here off this break of this most recent resistance. It's breaking a nice area. This is all-time highs again, guys. Every single time. We just be trading all-time highs. And now I hate trading all-time highs. To be very honest, I'm going to talk to you guys about that here real soon. But I hate trading all-time highs. But this is all-time highs. Get a nice break above, and then it comes to retest perfectly. This is perfect break and retest strategy here that I should have played, but I wasn't paying attention to it. But we did get a nice gain, 13% here off of this single trade. Matter of fact, it wasn't even 13%. It was 20% trade off of this trade right here alone, off of this nice push, guys. So we got this nice push. You guys can see I entered at 7:32, so 2 minutes after this candle opened, which I do remember it. It did dip down here pretty strong, and we got a nice push. Break above. Easy trade, guys. Where I re-entered was horrible. So look at this, guys. I re-entered here on this candle here on the 15, this is what it looks like on the 5 minutes. On the 15 minutes, it looks a little bit better. But on the 5 minutes, guys, I entered on this candle right here, thinking that we're going to do another retest. No. We exited it here off of this candle close below this little support level. I was talking about it. We're in a live trade. You guys saw it. I said if we get a candle close below this little support level, I'm going to have to exit. And unfortunately, we had to exit, man. We had to get out of these contracts. And these contracts put us down pretty bad. You guys can see I called that out for 113 for re-entry. Play light. I got filled at 115, but we closed for an L at $94 exit. So 115 to $94 exit, guys. Very bad trade. And then after we exit, after we get faked out, even on the 15 minutes to fake this out, this candle closed below, it ends up freaking rocketing, man. So that one made me look like a clown. I feel bad for anybody that took that with me, which people did. Then I decided to take some SPX calls, and this is where I got freaking wrecked, guys. So I took SPX calls here. Honestly, I shouldn't even have traded this trade setup. This is not even a trade setup. If you guys look at this, you guys will see. I called out SPX here for 330 a piece at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. is right here. Thinking that we're going to retest this general area and continue on back up to the upside. Even this little push here did not even put us in profits because theta, time decay, trading SPX out the money calls can also have an effect. So overall, man, as soon as this candle dips down here, you guys saw it. We freaking exited it for a 30% L from $330 entry to an exit of $215. So $115 loss on this single trade here. From this entry here all the way down to this exit here on this candle, guys. This was a horrible, horrible exit. Not only did it fake me out because the candle closed way back above, but even faked out the bullish breakout to the upside. I know for a fact, even if I would have held and managed to hold throughout this, I would have got faked out again to even to the upside, close here, or maybe would have thought since we're above this most recent resistance, we'll just hold it one more time, and we didn't. Get a nice fat breakdown, ultimately get it close above. But then again, I'm not the type of traders to be like, man, imagine if I would have held, bro. If I would have held, I would have been down like negative 150, maybe like 50% here, to be very honest. Then you get that nice breakout to the upside. So that was the last trade that I called out on Wednesday, and that one was the one that did us so bad, man. So we had to just call it good. Didn't even decide to trade anymore until the next day, which the next day we tried to take NVIDIA, guys. So we've been getting faked out many times because now I'm going to show you guys NVIDIA, and this one was a fake out to the upside. We even re-entered on a breakout to the same exact trade idea. The first one was a loss, second one was a break even. Let's talk about this. So the first trade that I took was some NVIDIA, guys. I entered off of the break and retest. I tried to do my absolute best to capture a break and retest. We didn't get it. So let's talk about this one. Yeah, so I called them out for a $127 entry, exited at $86. You guys can see my contracts here. Now, the reason why I entered is because look at this 5 minutes, gets candle break. Even on the 15 minutes, this is a 15-minute candle break to the upside. 15 minutes gets a nice candle break to the upside. I'm expecting us to hold this general area. Guys, look at this next candle. Instant sell-off. So I enter here on this candle at the almost very tippity top. Then we exit 5 minutes later at 6:50 a.m. So I exited, which I remember seeing the video at this candle here. This was pretty bad, guys. So we got wrecked on this one. Then look what happens, guys. Bounces out pre-market low. It breaks back above this level. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to re-enter, guys. Why do we re-enter? Because you know what my mindset is? And the reason why I'm talking about this trade. And this is the trade that actually we saw 19%, guys. We saw 19, 20% here. Here's me saying right here, 15%, 18% here. But we need more. I kept saying, I want more though. Because I want this trade to not only just pump 20%, I want that trade to pump 30, 40%. So I wasn't settling for less. I was settling for more gains. But it is what it is, guys. It didn't end up doing it. And it sold us out at literally our entry price of break even. But let's talk about this trade, why I even re-entered it. Because whole reason being is because every single time we hit this general area, it tends to reject. Look at this. Reject here from yesterday. And here we are on this day here trying to break above it. So after I get clapped here on the re-entry, on the entry here, I said, you know what? Is it going to clap me out again? And maybe it might. Maybe it just might. Maybe I have to take another loss again and re-enter and take a loss again. It is what it is. But I'm just trying to do my absolute best to take the same type of trade setups I would even if the market was normal. Now, this is around all-time highs as far as SPY, QQQ, SPX, NQ, MES, all them big boys, and Apple, Amazon was going crazy. I mean, so many stocks are going crazy, breaking all-time highs, Meta as well. So a whole bunch of stocks are breaking all-time highs. So I'm trying to capture calls, which is why all my trades, most of the part, were calls. If you look at all the trades out here, here's a picture. If you go down the line, literally most of my trades were calls. Practically, I think only one of them was a put. So here I am, trying to take the same type of breakout trade on NVIDIA, guys. Get a nice little dip, retest here, this most recent general area. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take it, man. Just whatever. Worst case scenario, I get stopped out again. But I'm going to take the same trade. So we enter these at 121 entry. We see a nice 18%, but we got stopped out at 8:40 a.m. for a dollar exit. Whole point is we want this trade to run, which is what I'm trying to learn and do my absolute best. Is best case scenario, it just keeps on running. That's what we want. We want this thing to go crazy, which is why I tried my best to absolutely hold. Now, let me show you guys a messed up trade here soon, but let's talk about the next two trades that were freaking, let's talk about the next trade. Now, the last trade that I took that day was Amazon. And man, oh man, that was the trade, guys. Amazon was the trade, man. So Amazon basically looks like Nvidia. If I was to take calls here, let's talk about the trade. If I was to take calls here, I would have got wrecked. Again, just like Nvidia. Nvidia, this is the same area where I got wrecked at. I took calls off a breakout, instantly sells off, you close it for a loss, boo, 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 whatever, move on, next trade. That's your mindset. Your mindset has to be, oh, I'm on to the next one. Even though you took a loss right now, it is what it is, whatever, scratch that. Let's keep moving on. And guys, the reason why I answer is because the 9 EMA follows perfectly right here to this candle. I'm like, you know what? This looks like it's gonna break out. Nice little cup here. I'm not saying this is a cup and handle, but nice little cup here. Bulls are stepping in decently. Market's going crazy, and we get this nice ass push, man. You guys can see I called out Amazon for 134 entry, exited it at 167. But this is where we could have done better, because even though I exited here, which was at 9:09 a.m. So I exited somewhere on this candle here, or on this candle, whatever one. At 9:09 a.m. I exit somewhere around here. Now, what I could have done better is, of course, holding. But this is all-time highs, guys. I don't know how long it's going to continue on breaking all-time highs. Now, in this case, it continued on breaking all-time highs. Imagine if I would have done my absolute best to not only hit price target, which probably would have been 30%, because we sold out of these at 30%. These contracts probably would have flipped over 100%. So I'm trying to find trades like these, where these trades can go all the way up here, and I capture a fat gain, guys. I want the risk reward to be small. So even though I took losses this week, I still don't really mind as far as when it comes to taking a loss, because these are the kind of trades that I'm trying to find. To where even if I took 3 losses like this, where the stop loss is pretty decently tight, or even if it was down here a little bit, to where I do get stopped out for a decent 20-ish%, 25, 30-ish%, the gain needs to be over 50, 60%, because look at these kind of trades, guys, that we can catch. Now, unfortunately, the trade that looks like that as well is Nvidia, but look at this one. This one didn't go like that either. Amazon went like that. So maybe I could have collected 20% here and took Amazon 60%, 100%, but it is what it is, guys. We just move on. That's what we do. We move on. So now let's go on to the last day, which is Friday, guys. Last day I only called out one trade because it was a loss, and it was an AMD put. I entered in way too early, guys. That's what I learned. If I had a better entry, I would have been able to hold this one a little bit stronger. You guys saw this trade on Friday, and you guys saw the live trade as well. Not only did it hit price target, but even did a nice break and retest strategy as well. Now, unfortunately, guys, this trade F me up pretty bad as far as when it comes to mental wise, because I understood that I entered in a little bit early. I called it out at $69 entry. I said buying half now, and I'm in early, and I kept learning to trade zone chat that, guys, this is an early entry. Be careful on this last trade that I'm about to call out, or this first trade that I'm about to call out, because this is an early entry. So I entered at 8:47 a.m., which is somewhere in this general area, and I remember this because I had to exit so quick, guys, at $45 exit. So we entered these at $69 entry and exited it at $45 exit. Horrible entry. Horrible entry. And I feel so bad for anybody that took this with me, because what I'm saying is we took this here. We took the entry here. We didn't even break below the level, the support level that I need to wait for. We didn't even wait below until we got below that level. The reason why I took this is because every time we hit this general area, even over here, it bounces. Now, market was pulling down pretty strong. It was pulling down pretty strong, but it never continued with AMD. With AMD, when I entered off of this candle here, it never actually continued, to be honest, unfortunately. Let me put a candle there. So when I entered here on AMD, Nvidia started to bounce, pulls up here pretty strong, gets a candle close above my stop loss, so I had to just cut it. It is what it is. But if I would have waited for an actual candle close below, maybe I would have entered on an aggressive entry, or wait for a break and retest here. These would have been way better entries. So this trade is totally my fault. Rookie moves, rookie mistakes, entered in way too early, and I had to take the lesson for it. I had to learn the lesson for it. Now, there's one trade that I do want to go over that I did not call out, but guys, this was the one that I missed, and I'm so upset about it, to be very honest. I'm usually not ever upset that I missed a trade or care if I missed out money on or left a little bit extra money on the table. But this trade hit me pretty hard. You guys saw on Friday's vlog that I said anything below pre-market low, which is 144.16, I am slapping puts. I do not care. Guys, that thing broke not only that level so hard, but our friend Elliot said, check out this level 2 here, which is 144.75. I said, you know what? That's also a very strong level. So not only did we break below this level, and maybe I could have gotten an aggressive entry here, and it would have break down, or even a nice break below this guy's level and get a nice retest here. And I had the contracts loaded up, ready to enter. I had the message already typed out to enter. We never pulled the trigger, guys. Perfect break and retest strategy. Nice head and shoulders here as well. Let's look at this, guys. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Nice little level of support. Like if it gets broken, it's definitely about to see Earth, and we saw freaking Earth. So unfortunately, guys, we just never took that trade, and I hope you guys are able to learn from my mistakes. So unfortunately, 4 wins, 5 losses, 2 break evens. Entered in real early on many of them. Just got faked out on many of them as well, as far as when it came to that NVIDIA one. Entered in way too early on that SPY one. Rookie mistakes that I took this week, unfortunately. So you know what we're going to do is take all these lessons and build it back into next week, because I'm kind of going backwards instead of going forwards. I also sold too early on a few of them, as far as Amazon, as far as NVIDIA. But it is what it is, guys. Every single day is a learning lesson. Every single week, every time we do this recap, it's a learning lesson for us to get better. So let's work on getting better. And next week, we're going to do our best to do best trade signals, the best trade setups, and make sure we enter at an actual break and retest strategy or an aggressive entry. Either one, guys. And even if we take a loss, man, we just know that our wins will always overpower and overcome our losses. So maybe I might take 2 losses back to back, and it's going to be $40 loss. Another $40 loss puts me down $80. But that next trade that puts me in that nice risk to reward ratio and I actually hit my price target should recover all the losses and some more. That's the whole goal, and that's what we're shooting for every single week. So let's hope our second week of December is like that, guys. And I hope you guys learned from this video. We're going to end it here, and I cannot wait to see you guys on the next one. And I hope this one helps you guys out as well. Let me know what you guys think of these recaps. Let me know if this helps you guys out a little bit better. Now, unfortunately, if anybody took my trades this week, it was an unprofitable week. If you took one single contract of every single signal that I called out this week, you'd be down $80 off the entries and exits. So, unfortunately, guys, pretty sorry about that. But we're going to keep on going. We're going to keep on pushing. We're going to do our absolute best to call out good trade call-outs next week. So, hope you guys are enjoying your guys' holidays. Hope you guys are spending time with family if you guys have any. And if you guys don't have any family, well, reach out to me, and I'll definitely be down and chat it up with you. See how you're doing in this trading world, and let's keep on moving, guys. Catch you guys on the next one.